One of the secrets to exposure for your business lies within supporting Black businesses and entrepreneurs. And that is why the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce is here, to connect Black businesses from the desert to the sea. Let's join hands to empower and sustain our community. By becoming a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, you can grow your business and increase your clientele. With our innovation, we'll generate new businesses and get new customers. And we'll connect new mindsets with businesses from across Southern California to help bridge the wealth gap. Let's connect, build, and grow together. Join us now at blackchamberofcommerce.org.
Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It is time for our weekly chamber wrap-up meeting podcast, whatever we're doing here. And listen, if I can start on time, y'all can give me $1 million, but we'll see if that happens. And I'm such a time person, so I don't know why I can't start on time, but I'm going to work on me, and we're going to work on you, and everything is going to work out. But listen, I am so excited today because I have a special guest with you guys. Listen, if there's one thing about me as well, I'm going to ask you to do something for me at the last minute. And I love our chamber family because I tell you, they stay ready. They don't have to get ready because they stay ready. So I want to bring out someone, but before we do, breaking news. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have no idea. We have 15 different chapters from the desert to the sea, and you guys only get to meet a few of them, but today you are in luck because we are going to bring up the fabulous, the magnanimous Miss Dr. Marie Lamel. Welcome to the stage.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much. What a great introduction.
Yay, we're so excited that you're here today. Ladies and gentlemen, Marie sent me a flyer and I was like, and she called me today. I was like, can you be on? Can you talk to people about this? Like, I can't believe you're doing this. We have such exciting and dynamic presidents. And so if you haven't had a chance to meet Dr. Marie Lamel, she's out in the Beverly Hills chapter. She's been with us for about a year now. And this is her first Broadway introduction. So I'm actually going to hand the floor over to her. I definitely cannot do what she's doing out there in Beverly Hills justice. So I'm actually going to hand the floor over to her. And she's going to let us know a little bit about who she is and what she's doing out there in Beverly Hills and what you got coming up next. Marie Lamel.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. I just love your energy. And this is such a cute show. I love that. So I'm Marie Lamel. I am a native of Los Angeles. And I have been very fortunate to have couple of businesses that have done very well. And I'm more or less in the entertainment industry. I have a company called Platinum Star Public Relations, Platinum Star Media Group, which is my talent management and TV and film production company. I have a crisis communications company as well, Pitbull PR agency. And I have just a lot of different things going on because as we all learned from COVID, you better have a lot of irons in the fire, so you can pivot from one to another. But I also found that I can help people in different niches. And so that's really important. So I can move very quickly across the board, whether it's for corporate, nonprofit, book authors, speakers, athletes, actors, directors, and whatnot. So it's an exciting time and we just have to make it work and make it exciting. And I'm very, very grateful to be part of the Southern California Black Chamber family because this has been a great experience for me. And I've been members of many chambers, but to be the president of the Beverly Hills chapter is an honor.
And we are honored to have you. And tell us what you have coming up for Beverly Hills. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen, but go ahead and let everybody know what you got coming up.
Well, the nice thing is we gather every third Thursday from 6 to 9. Right now, we're sort of Beverly Hills adjacent. We've been very fortunate to have a great relationship with the county fire department, and they allow us to have our meetings in their community room. So I love supporting them and providing snacks for them too when we show up because we have snacks. We make sure that everybody's fed. And then we cover different things about business, but also about other things that are important to the livelihood that they have chosen. And because I'm in the entertainment industry, I try to include a number of entertainment industry professionals to come out and do some things that are a little bit different and unique. So next Thursday, which is July the 16th from 6 to 9 at Fire Station 59, is a table read event. What is that, you ask? Well, actors know, directors know, producers know, casting directors know, but even some actors have never been on a table read. And let me tell you why. Table reads are usually reserved for those that are already hired by the production or have been considered by the production to see if the synergy is there, the chemistry is there, and if the script itself may need some little work and adjustments. Because when you hear the script out loud, when writers hear that, producers hear that, casting directors hear that, it's much easier to see if this is really a good fit. So it's really acting out a script as you're sitting around a table, bouncing off each other and making it work. So we've decided to make this an available type of an event, maybe not every month, but often. And I'm very pleased to say that DGA, which is Directors Guild Association, that's a union, director, Chuck Whitman, he's actually from Chicago, but he's going to be in town. And this is his movie, his script that we're going to be reading. So he's very excited about hearing it out loud instead of just in his head. And then I have acting coach Maurice, and Maurice is very good at redirecting people to be in the moment. Because acting is a lot of people say, oh, they're naturals, but it's really work. It's an art form for sure. And I really am grateful that he's going to make himself available. He's been in a lot of shows. He has been on soap operas. He's been on some Tyler Perry sitcoms. He was on the Barbershop series. So the photo may not necessarily jolt your memory, but once you see him in person, you'll definitely know that it's somebody that you've seen and heard. So he's going to be there to help with some suggestions, maybe during the table read, before the table read. We're going to just kind of play it really loose and casual, and so that people are not anxious, because they're not going to be able to see the script ahead of time. It's going to be considered a cold read, but we're not judging you from that. It's really giving you a experience that you may not get normally. Some people that are coming are definitely seasoned actors and have been on table reads, but we want to mix it up. And being a participant, even a spectator, will give you a great sense of what it's like to do a table read and how you should conduct yourself. And I'm just looking at something right now that just came through my feed here. So any questions, Nikisha, about that?
I think it's a great opportunity. And it's one of the things I love about working with the chapter is all of these platforms that we're able to provide for people, people who have never been to things like this. I remember going to a Hanging with Mr. Cooper live showing. And it was like, after that, I enrolled in television, film, and new media productions, and I did stuff on campus. So you never know when you go to some of these events that you might not be ready for at the moment, or you might not know if it's something for you. But when you go, it opens up your opportunities, and you never know who you're going to meet. And I know one of the things that Rich is always telling us is that you just need to show up. And a lot of times in these types of events, you just need to show up. You just need to be in the room with the right people, because even if you don't do the table read, you might meet somebody there that can absolutely change your life. So that's what I heard.
No, that's absolutely true. You will meet people that will change your life on so many levels, and it'll also enhance the skill set that you already have. And I'm sorry, I didn't say Maurice's last name, Maurice Smith. The other thing is we're on Partiful, and that you'll see that flyer on Partiful. Click on that link to RSVP. We really would appreciate that. So we have a head count. We have a good, healthy group of people that are coming through. And I should also say this. I'm a casting director. I'm also a screenwriter. And like I said, Charles Whitman, he's a writer as well as a director. So we're always looking for talent. We need to have a roster of talent that we can attach a project to. So coming and being seen means a world of difference than just sending in a headshot in your resume, in your reel. We'd like to meet you in person. And I really feel that it's not going to be a waste of time at all, even if you don't read, but you can listen in and you can learn from that. You can see what makes a table read come alive. and how you can stand out from that. Because again, we have to imagine what you're talking about. And you're not going to be able to act it out, stand up and do anything. It's really going to literally read it, but you have to give it that energy so that you become that character.
Yeah, I was watching somebody, they were doing like a beginner, a professional, and like a Oscar. And it's like just in the little phrasing, you know, and just like facial movements. There's so much that you can learn when you're around people who are really into the craft. And so I would say anybody who's interested in acting or anything should absolutely come out to this table read, because I think you're going to make some great connections. And I think you're going to learn a lot just being in the room. Absolutely. Anything else you want to let us know?
No, I just love to see you. I wish you were a little closer so you could come in and bring your energy as well. But we're gonna have to plan that. I mean, that's like a day trip, you know.
Yes,
so.
Yes, absolutely.
We'd love to have you anytime. And thank you so much for giving me the time and the space. And everyone out there, I look forward to meeting you and talking about if this is the path you want to take. There's a lot of behind the scenes opportunities, not just front of the camera, but I am here to help you make a better decision in this field.
Absolutely. Let's give one more round of applause for Miss Dr. Marina. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thank you. Have a great rest of your show. And I look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Absolutely. We will see you on the 16th, right? The 16th of July.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Thank
you so much, Dr.
Right,
Marie.
everyone.
We'll see you next time.
Bye. Okay.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I love about doing a live show. We can just bring people up here and they can tell you about all the opportunities that are happening all over the county. Like I said, 15 different chapters, one membership gets you access to everything. And the great thing about membership is these mixers, they're free for you. So you definitely want to make sure that you join. And that's not the only thing happen. So let's go through a couple of other announcements. And then, of course, we're going to do a training. Yes, we're going to be talking about leadership today. Now, I don't have my notes because it was taking too long. So I just wrote a bunch of bullet points and we'll just go over them. We'll see how we feel. We'll see how much we can get through. But before we do that, let's take a quick, no, we're not going to take a quick commercial break because I have a commercial break when we do this announcement, which is we have, oh, see, look, see, I was trying to be great. There I go, trying to be great, and it doesn't want me to be great. There we go. All right, so we have our business summit and casino night that's happening on the 21st. If you guys have been following us along on our social media, you can see all of the different exciting testimonies of people who have gone to the event and had such a great time. We like to jam pack that. So you can see on the 21st, which is a Friday, we're going to have the summit, and that's going to be from 10 to 4. We're going to have all these dynamic speakers. You're going to learn so much. It's like if you wanted to learn about marketing, sales, AI, you know, talking to government agencies, certifications all in one day, that's the day that you want to attend. But maybe you like to have a little bit more fun, right? Maybe you're like, Nikisha, it's not all that serious. Can we just let our hair down? We're going to be having our awards dinner at 6 p.m. Casino night at 8 p.m. till midnight. Yeah, baby. And where is this happening? We're going to be on the Queen Mary. Every time I tell people that, I'm like, this is amazing. How do you get connected? That's what's about being with the chamber, is that you get it's because it's all of us working together. See, when you're trying to go at it alone, it's hard because you can only do so much. You only have so many hours in the day and you can only put so much. So if you're trying to build an empire, if you're trying to build something really, really big, you're going to need people on your team. And so you definitely want to join things like the business summit, because just like Marie's group that she's going to be having, it's not just that, it's you meet people. You're going to get to know things. And it might just be one thing that's like, oh, that was the idea I needed, or that was the connection that I needed. So I definitely want to invite everybody to come out to the Queen Mary. So we're going to take a quick commercial break so we can talk a little bit more about this event on the Queen Mary.
Success leaves clues, and excellence leaves a legacy. Join leaders, entrepreneurs, professionals, and visionaries from across Southern California for the Black Excellence Business Summit 2026, presented by the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, Long Beach Chapter, on Friday, August 21st, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Connect with influential business leaders, discover new opportunities, build powerful relationships, and gain valuable insights to elevate your career, business, and community impact. Then, the celebration continues with an unforgettable casino night on Saturday, August 22nd, from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Experience an evening of networking, entertainment, gaming, prizes, and purpose aboard the historic Queen Mary. in Long Beach. Every ticket helps support the youth-built organization, empowering young people ages 16 through 24 with opportunities in education, leadership development, workforce training, and lifelong success. Best of all, come build connections. The Black Excellence Business Summit and Casino Night 2026 at the Queen Mary in Long Beach, where excellence meets opportunity, and together we build the next generation of leaders. Register today and be part of the movement.
Register today. Make sure that you join. It is almost a month away, so it is coming up. We have tickets still available. We still have some hotel rooms available, so you definitely want to make sure that you join today. If you go to the website, click on events, you'll be able to click the link and join. All right, so what else do we have coming up with the chamber? Okay, as you guys know, not only do we have our monthly mixers, but we also have different events that we hold throughout the year, like the Business Summit. We also have a health expo that's coming up September 26th. That's going to be out there in San Bernardino from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We are looking for panelists to participate. So if you are in the health and fitness area, if that's your arena, that's your expertise, we are looking for you. So please make sure that you join us. Hold on, let me move this little banner down so you guys can see. You can just email lou.info@yahoo.com or email info@blackchamberofcommerce.org, and we will be happy to get you set up with this, because these are the types of platforms and events that we do so that you get exposure. That's really what this is about, because like I said, on your own, you can only do so much. But when you're a panel participant at the Health and Business Fitness Expo, you're on a whole nother level, are you not? Yes, you are. And not only do we have health and business expos, we also have a fashion show, and we are looking for models. I think we're casting models on July 18th, so that's in about 10 days. This event is actually going to be up in Palm Springs. So if you're in the Palm Springs area and you want to go to the fashion show, or you're a model and you're looking for a casting, July 18th, we want to make sure that you go out there. This could be something for you that can change your life. Because again, it's all about being in the room. It's all about getting that exposure. And we do have some really fantastic, I saw some designers that we already have. Angela Carr, Antonio, Luana. I can't read these because they're too small. I apologize. But the links are in descriptions are all going to be on the social media. So make sure that you go. They're also on the website. Again, click on events and you'll be able to see the fashion show, and all this information is going to be there. So make sure that you get into the room. Casting call, like I said, is going to be on July 18th up in Palm Springs. So you want to make sure that you get out there so that you can be a part of the event. And I believe the event is in October because we do it during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be the date of the event. Another event that we have coming up, save the date. Barstow, if you're in the Barstow area, your annual awards banquet just for the Barstow people. Last year, 2025, Barstow was actually chapter of the year. So I'm really excited that they're going to be doing another banquet. They have some dynamic speakers that are going to be coming out. It's always a great time. I can tell you, nobody throws a party like the Chamber throws a party. If I've ever been to a party, the Chamber's throwing a good party. And not just a party where you're having fun, but a party where you're meeting people that can really impact your business, impact your life, change your perspective. So make sure that you're saving the date, especially if you're out there in the Barstow area. And all the way, we've got events scheduled all the way out until January. So every single year, I don't know if you guys know this, we have an annual, and it's a whole event that we do for Martin Luther King Day. So we have on the actual day, we have like a parade, we have a prayer breakfast. It's up in Palm Springs, and we do an extravaganza. We also have a gala that happens a couple days before. So the month of January is just jam-packed, full of Martin Luther King celebration, just celebrating this great man and all the things that he's done and the legacy that he's left. Because these are the things that we're looking for to make a path for the future. So If you are looking to be a part of that, we do have vendors that we need, food, entertainment. We're going to have music out there. There's a stage. It's a whole big event. And I'm telling you, we get all the high schools out there. All the high schools in the San Bernardino area are coming out to walk across to walk all downtown, come back around and end over there at 624 West 4th Street in San Bernardino. So make sure that you sign up. Information is on the website. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I know we don't have that much time, but I think that it's still important that we talk a little bit about leadership because you guys are all leaders. And I was looking at some different things that we could talk about, and I came up with, what's it called? Leadership tips, tricks, and truths. So I just have about 20 of them here, and I'm just going to read them off. The ones that just say what they say, we're going to let them say what they say, and then we'll just move on. And then if I have anything to say about the other ones we have, well, I'll mention those there. And if you have something to say, leave it in the comments because I'd love to hear from you. Okay, let's get started. So number one, leaders build leaders. Oh, this is a really good one. If you're the only leader on your team, you've become the bottleneck. Your success is measured by the leaders you develop, not the tasks you complete. Ooh, right? You know why? Because when you start off in business, a lot of times you have to do so much. You're almost doing everything because it's so expensive to hire people and you don't even know what to tell them to do. So you do all of these different things. And then you get used to completing tasks and doing what you're doing. And then you bring a team on. And now your team is depending on you to get all of the information that they need in order to do their job. And it's hard, I know, as leaders, but we have to make sure that we're looking at the people that are working for us, not just as people who work for us, but as potential leaders in our organization. You should be taking every person, especially those people who show potential, and getting them on the leadership development path. One of the things about AI that they're talking about is that because they've let go of so many different people, that next generation that they need of coders who do kind of like basic coding is not there. They're missing that. So a lot of times when leaders are ready to step and go to the next level, they realize, oh, I haven't created any leaders. I haven't duplicated myself. I've been completing tasks. I've been reaching my goals. I've been doing the things, but I forgot to create leaders. So that's one thing that I think is really important. It's a truth. Leaders need to build leaders. Stop doing their job. I think that that's pretty evident, but every time you solve your employee's problem, you're teaching them dependence instead of leadership. So don't solve your person's problem. Help them how to think about the problem, how to respond to the problem. So I think you can just set a good example of how they should be responding to things, but don't just do things for people, right? I'm a big believer, and there's another one on here. I don't know where it's at, but your job is not to do their job, right? A lot of times I think in business, we forget that our job as leaders is to make sure that we train, that we motivate, that we help, that we promote, that we cultivate them, but that we don't do their job. Because once we start doing their job, we have lost the plot. What's the point of leadership if you're doing their job? That's not leadership. So, okay, what's the next one? Number 3, manage systems, not people. Don't I always say this? Am I not always saying leaders manage systems, systems manage people? Put those emojis up. So great systems reduce the need for micromanaging. This is why. If you constantly have to remind people, your process probably needs work. A lot of times in business, we forget to set up the system. We get so used to doing all of the things that we forget there needs to be a system that helps manage people, that helps give people information. That's one of the things that I feel like I learned way too late in life. And I think it's because even me as a person who deals with systems, my whole thing is systems. Even me is forgetting that you need to create a system because you're thinking, oh, I don't have that much. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, I can track it on my own. Sure, for now. But guess what happens when growth happens? You're not prepared. And I can tell you there's nothing worse than not being prepared for growth, right? Because a lot of times we start in business and we're hoping that things are going to happen, but we're not preparing for things to happen because we don't even know what that looks like. So make sure that you are creating systems today, even now, right now, like on my little whiteboard over here. So you guys can see in my whiteboard over there, I am writing the system that we're currently creating right now, because as we go, I'm like, okay, this is going to be the process. And I'm writing it down because I want everybody to be able to see it. So whenever they come into the office, it's like, this is the process. And when it doesn't work, we change it. And then once we can, okay, this is definitely working, then we document it. And now it becomes the process for all time and memorial. So those are just some of the things that you need to be doing. Systems, systems, systems. This is from the system person. So believe me. Okay, number 4. Hire for character, train for skill. This is so important. Skills can be taught. Attitude, initiative, integrity are much harder to develop. It is easier to train a good person to do that particular skill than to get a skilled person who has a terrible attitude. Because a person with a terrible attitude is like putting a rotten apple in a batch of good apples. Like at first, you're not going to notice anything. But over time, if you leave that rotten apple in there, it's going to rotten every single apple in that whole entire barrel. Every single apple from one apple. That's why that is so important. Making sure that you are hiring for character. You can train them on all the other stuff. Now, of course, there's things that people need to know. And of course, there's definitely positions that you'd want them to have some type of foundation. Like if they're coding, you'd want their background to be in some type of coding and not in maybe like customer service. Like customer service is great, but it's not going to help you if you need a coder, right? But if you find 2 or 3 coders and all things being equal, choose the one with the better character. Okay, number 5, clarity creates confidence. Most performance issues aren't motivation problems, they're expectation problems. As leaders, we can get so busy that we forget to tell people what's on our mind. We think, maybe, that they can just read our minds. What? You can't see what's going on here. You can't see what's important. No. So as leaders, we have to be telling people what's important. We have to set the expectation. We have to let them know, like, hey, this is something important. This is something that you should look at. This is something that you should do. This is what my expectation is. This is what good looks like. A lot of times we don't do a good job. What is good? You need to explain that to people. Because once you explain that to people and once you set the expectation and it's not this nebulous, I don't know, feel it in the, what is that kind of air type of vision, then you can start holding people accountable because you're like, hey, remember this list? Remember this whole list that we went through? Yeah, 4, 5, and 6, you didn't do those. Now you have something a little bit more than saying like, why didn't you do it right? And then there is, hey, you never told me how to do it. And they're going to put it right back on you. So I want you to avoid that. What was our thing? Clarity creates confidence. So making sure that you let them know what the expectation is. Define what good is so people know what you're looking for them. I know this is one other thing about micromanaging. I always tell people, I'm not a micromanager. I will never micromanage. I don't like it. So I'm going to give you stuff and my expectations, you're going to give it back to me. That's it. And if there's any problem with that, you're going to let me know. It's going to be your responsibility. I'm waiting for it to be done. That's my expectation. So if there's anything outside of that, you need to let me know, right? So I put that on them so that they're not saying, oh, well, she didn't follow up with me. I wasn't going to ever follow up with you. It was always going to be your responsibility. Okay, let's get to the next one. Feedback shouldn't be annual. Coaching isn't something you schedule once a year. It's how leaders create growth every week. I always liked, when I was working in corporate, I always liked to meet with my team once a week, once every other week, definitely at least once a month. We would have like a monthly meeting to talk about what was working, what wasn't working, what's doing well, what's not doing well. We always like to have those types of conversations because we shouldn't wait till the end of the year to tell people how they did their job. That should be something that's ongoing. And because we have a mindset of continuous improvement, right? I don't want you to stay stagnant. And I don't want to get to the end of the year and find that you've made no growth. So you want to check in with people relatively soon. One good thing that you can start to adopt is after you execute a really big project in your organization, do a retrospective where we all come back together and we look at that project one more time. What did we do well? What didn't go as well? What are we going to do next time? What aren't we going to do next time? What things could we have done better? What things could we have left out? That's always just a good practice for you to do because the next time you do that event, you'll have all of those good learnings and you won't go back and do the same mistakes over and over and over again. So that's why feedback shouldn't be annual. Number 7, put right people in the right seats, right? No square pegs and round holes. Don't try to force someone into a role they were not designed for. Great leaders match strength to responsibilities. That's one of the things about being a leader is that you got to have a way that you can analyze people, right? You got to have a way that you understand yourself enough, you understand the team enough to know, and look at that person enough to know where do they belong. Look at their behaviors. What are their skill sets? I know a lot of people, what they end up doing is those personality quizzes. I think those are really helpful. And even if they're not helpful to the employee, because maybe they don't use them, it can be helpful for you as a leader to understand how to deal with that employee. Like myself, for example, I took a personality quiz and I kind of knew this about myself, but I had never heard it articulated in that way, which was I'm a conceptualist. I will sit around and come up with a concept and I will explain it to you and I'll never touch it with my hands. I'm not a hands-on person. I'm a conceptualist. Like it makes sense in my mind. But if you told me to go and do it, I'd be like, are you sure? I don't think I can do that. That's going to be my response because I'm not a hands-on person. So I know that about myself. So I make sure that I'm in realms where I get to use my strengths more than my weaknesses, which is like we had a Lego competition with my kids. I didn't even know how to put those things together because I just don't work well with my hands that way. I hate that for me too, right? I want better for me. All right, number 8. And I was going to do a commercial, but you guys, I started so late, so we're not going to have time for commercials. We'll just do the outro commercial. But number 8, fix the process before the person. Huge, 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 huge. Before replacing an employee, ask whether the system will set them up for success. This is a great way for you to maintain objectivity when dealing with your employees or dealing with anybody that you're working with. Look at the system first and then the person. Why? Because if you look at the system and there was actually a flaw in the system, maybe somebody didn't get notified, maybe it didn't work the way it was supposed to, maybe that's missing something. And if you don't address that first and you immediately go to blaming the person, that doesn't set up a very good relationship with someone, because now it's like something goes wrong and you immediately go to blame, versus your job as a leader should be something goes wrong, I immediately go to looking at the process. What happened with the process? Did the process fail? Is there something broken? Did we not do something right? So we're looking at the process. And once we identified, oh yeah, the process is working. Now I can look at you and be like, okay, the process works. Did you follow the process? Did you follow the process? Now you can hold people accountable because there was a process, they knew it and they didn't follow it. So now when you want to write somebody up, it's easy to say, here was the process. They were trained on this day they failed, and now we're having a write-up. You see how quickly that goes? So fix the process before you fix the person. That way you're not blaming people, and it just degrades trust over time. Number 9, leadership begins with self-awareness. You can't improve what you are unwilling to evaluate. Great leadership starts with leading yourself. Let's just soak it in, everybody. It's okay. Soak it in. It's okay. We love constructive feedback. We do. We love that constructive feedback. We have to be self-aware. We have to know when we could be the problem. Am I the problem? I could be the problem. Sometimes I am the problem. I can tell you recently, I've had an example of that because I'm sitting here and I'm getting so frustrated. As you guys know, me and my husband will work together. We're revamping our business. So there's a lot of change going on. And we were having a conversation. I'm just frustrated. I am just so frustrated with him. And I realized, like, I'm being so negative. I am being so negative. Why are you being so negative? And I really had to check myself because I'm frustrated with him, not for the things that he was doing. I was frustrated with him because of me, because my own issues of what was going on. So that's why it's so important for us to be self-aware. You could be the problem. And that's okay, because listen, if you're the problem, you can fix you. You can always fix you. Isn't that wonderful? I love that for you. You can always fix you. So leadership begins with self-awareness. Number 10, don't fear failure. Fear standing still. Leaders don't avoid mistakes. They learn from them faster than everyone else does. Isn't that what I'm always saying? Don't I always say you need to fail faster? You're gonna fail. I know. I hate that. I don't like that. Yes, I don't think that we should have to fail at everything to learn. But you know what? Statistically speaking, you're gonna fail. So the only thing you can do is just do it faster. Get over it faster, learn from it faster, move forward from it faster. A lot of times from schooling, indoctrination, we see failure as just I failed, and not as I learned. I learned what not to do. That didn't work. I'm not going to do that anymore. Yeah, that doesn't work. And that's a perfectly reasonable part of leadership. Point out there. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, we only have a couple more minutes, so we'll just do 2 more. Number 11, relationships drive results. People follow leaders they trust long before they follow the vision. Who are you, right? And are you who you think you are, right? Just think about it. Stop micromanaging. If every decision has to come through you, your team will never learn to think for themselves. I think that's just self-explanatory. We'll keep going. We got time. Leadership isn't, number 13, leadership isn't a title. A position gives you authority. Your actions earn influence. And I don't know if you guys ever read that book, The 5 Levels of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. And he was talking about all the different levels of leadership. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting is that a lot of times people think that just because you have a title, just because you're the owner, just because you have all of those names and letters behind your name, that gives you a level of authority. And to some people it will, but it's not real, right? It's not real authority. It's not really moving the spot. Yeah, people will comply for a while so they don't have to. But one of the things that you don't realize about that is it's actually putting you in a situation where people can sabotage you. When people don't like you, when people don't trust you, when people feel like you're out for yourself and you don't care about them, people have a way of seeing problems and just ignoring them, knowing that they could have done something about it and just deciding not to. Those aren't things that you can really hold anybody actionable to. You can't prove that they didn't know that in time. But hey, maybe they see a leak and they just don't care. Maybe they saw that the bathroom toilet was running and they just bothered not to tell anybody and went home for the long weekend, so your water always ran. Those are the things that happen. It's little, right? Trust just degrades over time. So what was the point? Leadership isn't a title. Your action is going to earn your influence. They need to trust you. And it's not built during a crisis. It's built long before the crisis arrives. It's that consistency. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't get through all of our leadership notes, so maybe we'll go through the rest of them next week. But thank you so much, Dr. Marie Lamel, for joining us. She is the president of the Beverly Hills chapter. She's going to be having a mixer on the 16th, so make sure that you join that. If you haven't already, make sure that you get your tickets for the Business Summit and the Casino Night. When else are you going to get a chance to be on the Queen Mary? I ask you. Today on August 21st. That's your next chance. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as always, it's been a pleasure. We started so fast, I didn't even get to introduce myself. I'm Nikisha Bond, VP of Corporate Affairs here at the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce. We have 15 different chapters from the desert to the sea. Make sure that you go to our website that you can join, become a member. $200 for membership gets you access to 15 different chapters. There's no time like the present. We'll see you guys next time, every Wednesday at 5 p.m.-ish. I'm gonna try and be on time. That way I have time to finish all my notes. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
One of the secrets to exposure for your business lies within supporting Black businesses and entrepreneurs. And that is why the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce is here to connect Black businesses from the desert to the sea. Let's join hands to empower and sustain our community. By becoming a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, you can grow your business and increase your clientele. With our innovation, we'll generate new businesses and get new customers. And we'll connect new mindsets with businesses from across Southern California to help bridge the wealth gap. Let's connect, build, and grow together. Join us now at blackchamberofcommerce.org.